Hello guys, Pete Dahlgren building the Mirastar CF86. Oh man, what a day. Anyway, fellas, I lost a lot of the footage when I was actually making the sheets for this thing, and I'm going to do them again. I'm waiting on more material. I'm fitting planking right now, and I just want to show you guys this is actually in fact 3 sheets. And as you can see, I get no gaps. And it's actually very important that you don't get them. There are certain areas that you want to be planking, such as back here in this. And this is actually a box that I'm added on. It doesn't come on this. So you've got to look on your drawings if you're going to build for scale and stuff like that and get these things going. Now, this piece I put in lengthwise, I probably should have done it the other way because it's being a nightmare to fit up, but anyhow. I am getting to the point now where I'm starting to carve in and do some light details. Now, on the actual drawing on the F86, it does not, on this vertical fin, this is not glued yet because I'm still working it. There's areas that you want to be planking and not, you want to be planking and not really trying to do full sheets on certain areas of this because it's going to give it more strength to plank it. This, not necessarily, but I had some 1-inchers and I just use them and I like them at 1 inch, and that's what my width is on all the planks that are going in. When they go in, guys, I sand them. This is not glued. The one that is glued, there won't be any gaps in anything. And I'm really kind of fussy about this, but I want to talk about a little bit. There are some bends in this airplane that you've got to do some cuts on. And I'm going to show you on the other side because I haven't done it yet. And I'm glad that I actually was able to reshoot a video on it. And I'm hoping you can see on this side, you have a cutout there, and that's why the other one's like that. And then up here, you have another one right there. And that's why I stopped them where they were. And when I glue all this stuff in, I glue it thoroughly. And I use my syringes. I've told you guys about this a lot, and this is why I can actually inject the glue in there and have way better control of it. Now guys, when it comes down to this, there is a little bit of beefing up structure to build into it, and this is just something you're going to have to use your better judgment for. I'm not finished carving this out, but this is coming out. But this actually does come out almost an inch, but it needs to be squared off, and I'm not going to do that until I'm actually got it flipped over and can actually get it, because it's not a true squared deal on real jet. It actually has, even though it's 90 cut right now, it actually does drop from here to here and to the bottom of the airplane. It actually has a slant to it if you look at it. This gets a little bit of a curve sanded into it, but I'm going to wait until I actually plank the inside of the tunnel here, which I have not done yet, and I'll get that because I need to get in here and actually revamp this a little bit in here. I need to do a couple laminations on this in order to get this so that it looks good. It looks like the real jet that way, because when I glass it, I'm going to make sure that I have everything pretty well set up. Now guys, I've talked about tape. And if you don't have it, you need to have a few rolls on you. I go through a lot of tape when I'm building. And I've showed a lot of it, so I'm not going to do it. But I am going to give you guys an idea on how to make these really nice, sweet joints that have no gaps. And they're not hard to do. And this is how I'm laying out my planking. And I will come back and sand as I go. The one thing is, this airplane has a lot of curves in it in this area, and it does take a little bit of attention. And so there are a lot of little details and things like that. I'm actually building them into the plane, trying to look at the real drawings of it. But guys, once I get all of my parts done, it's simple as this. Get this where it goes. Now, one thing that I say on this, if you're using 36-inch sheets like this and all that, they're fine. But the one thing is, I don't like to do a lot of sanding on my sheeting. I hate that. It's it weakens the airframe. And even though we're using 1 ounce cloth on this thing and we're going to glass it, we're going to primer it and do other things, there is something that I just want you guys to realize. You need to keep your skin as intact as possible. So this takes a long time. Guys, there's 12 hours in just doing this one little spot on this airplane so far. And I got a lot of trimming, a lot of cutting, and a lot of sanding. And the one thing is, when you're planking, just make sure that you're laying this thing out for success. And you're going to go through a few pieces. Now, I'm going to show you a boogered up part that I did. And one of my spring clamps went, and I did not achieve greatness. My clamp did this. It snapped out of my hand and broke it. So I'm going to cut it off back here, and I'm going to set it up to where I actually have a slanted joint right here and run it all the way to here. This is where the airplane actually breaks out. And you can see where I actually treated and sanded the fuselage. And that's something else that I didn't get the opportunity to come up there and do it. And again, it's about not over sanding. It's just about getting it straight. And if you build it straight, guys, your plane is going to look just freaking amazing when it gets done. So take your time with the sheeting. These are not full sheets. These are not great big giant sheets. These are 3-inch sheets that are done in actually different widths. And I laminate them by using a hinge method. And I'm going to show you that real quick. And I'm just going to use a couple pieces of this. And we're going to use the top of the airplane now because it's a beautiful table to work with. And basically what I do, this is a hinging method that I use. And if you've done this, these got a bevel on them, by the way, guys. It's not very much, but it's just enough to get the point across. And they're sanded. It takes a lot of time. So give me a second here, and I'll okay. We're going to take a piece of tape. I'm going to do this one-handed because I don't have a camera now. I'm going to give you an idea of what it takes to make these really nice joints. You're going to get some blue painter's tape or green, anything that you want, and it depends on where you're at. This stuff does not cost that much money to do, and it's well worth it. Now, basically what I do is I pull the joint as tight as possible. I'm doing this one-handed. And then I will push this, and then you have this hinge. Okay. When you have this hinge, you can glue in here, and then you can push it down. And as you can see, even doing this one-handed, guys, I'm going to put it on the light. You put a tape on it like that, and you glue it. And then you put any kind of weight you want to keep it flat. That's how you get that joint, guys. And I use a lot of tape when I do this. When I put this part in after I cut it and fit it, I use these old T-pins. But guys, when I go to glue this, and just to make sure that it stays tight, I will go in there and I'll put a piece of tape on it. I don't care. Roll tape's $5. You got a $10,000 airplane here. Who cares? Who cares about $5? You know, and that leads me to the other part too, fellas, is that be ready to spend a lot of time on this. There's a lot of compound curves. There's a lot of things, and you know, I use a 12-inch I use a 12-inch balsa wood block, and I put 80 grade automotive grade paper on it. This is what I use to tree my parts up, guys. You don't need a lot of fancy tools. You do need good stuff, though. And I just would urge any and all of you to invest in the time to make sure that what you're building is top notch. You know, even if you're not going to show your airplane, I'm going to show this. This airplane is going to Top Gun next year. Come hell or high water, I'm making it this time, even if I have to get in it and fly it there. The thing is that I want to make sure that when I come up with, especially those of you that are amazingly good builders and everything, I want to show why I've arrived in this hobby. And it's not that I'm the best, because I certainly am not. A lot of people still call me a noob, and I accept that. The thing is, but what I do command is that after working on real airplanes for a lot of years, I want to make sure that what I build is safe, it's strong, not going to have any issues when it's in the air. Plus, I want it to look good. And you want those really nice details. Guys, you got to build them in. You can't buy those. You have to make them. So we're just now getting started. I cannot wait to get this glass primered and start doing the rivets and the details. That'll take 6 months to get all that done. That's what it took to do the Spitfire. In case those of you have watched that. That airplane had 24,000 rivets on the fuselage alone. And this one will have even more than that. So, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. This is where the build gets interesting and starts to look like the F-86. And as promised, I will redo this video and I will give some more tips on what I'm doing. And I'll show you why I've cut certain areas and done them. And I'll actually show the bracing the seam that I'm doing. And I'm actually replicating the actual seams that we put in real airplanes on this. So, no chance of that ever breaking there. Plus, it's nowhere near any of the deal. And again, guys, stagger your joints. If you put a joint here, you don't put another joint next to it. You move it down 2 frames. It's like, let's say that one is going to be a deal right there. The next joint will be right here. If the joint was up there and it was a short piece, it'd be in there like that. But anyway, fellas, thanks for watching, and I hope I'm giving you guys some good advice and showing just how awesome this kit really is. So anything you can get mirrors, bring it on. I mean, it's going to be great. And check out his new F100 build. It's absolutely amazing. And it'll be the next build on the show. So anyway, you guys, thanks for watching, and like and subscribe and share it to the world. Thank you.